Hello, and welcome to the Egg Crate Waffle Architecture Tutorial Part 1. To start, I'm going to make a pretty simple surface. The point of this is to just give me something that I can then use for the next step of the tutorials. And I just copy and pasted that one curve, and I'm going to bring it out to here. Right. Then I have two curves. I got my surface here. I'm going to create a cross section, curve, start that again, keep it planar. There we go. Right, so I kept it planar. I also have my end snap-on over here so that I snapped to the end of both of my curves. And now we're going to use the sweep command. Sweep 2, because I have two rails. Select my first rail. Select my second rail. Select my cross-section curve. Enter. I'm not too worried about all these parameters in the dialog box, because it's not that important for what we're doing right here. So sweep. So now I have my surface. The next thing I'm going to need to do now are create a series of planes to cut up my surface, right? So making sure to stay within my surface on both sides with a flat bottom, I'll create a plane. And I'm going to move that plane just ever so slightly inside the shape. So my plane is completely within inside my surface. Now I'm going to array my plane, and I want to do the y axis first. So I'll do 1, 5, 1. And I'm not too worried about the spacing. There. Enter. Then I'm going to make a plane in the x direction, surface, plane, corner to corner. Make sure it's bigger than the others. You see how it extends outside? That's going to be really important when they need to interlock back together. So again, I will array this. And again, it's within, inside of my other surface. So I'll array it. We'll do 5 in the x, 1 in the y, and 1 in the z. I'll snap to the end and then space them out by I. Maybe to here. How about that? There we go. So now I have my grid of planes that are intersecting my surface that I created. So now I'm going to trim my surfaces, my planes to my surface. So the cutting object will be my surface, and then the objects to trim will be all of these. So as you can see, it trimmed all of the surfaces, all of the planes down to the surface, which is great. So now I don't necessarily need my surface anymore, but I don't want to get rid of it. So what I'll do is I'll drag it off. I'll add it to another layer or just hide it in place. That way I can always come back to it. And that's going to be really important as we work on this project, is to make sure that you are continually copy and pasting and saving during each step, because it becomes really hard to go back sometimes. So I've got my planes, and now I'm ready to begin the process of actually cutting them apart and then reattaching them together. So we'll go through that in the next step in part 2 of the Egg Crate waffle architecture tutorial.